Hello everyone, this is Nimish and today we're going to react to the new Malayalam movie trailer Take Off starring Fahad Fasil, Parvati and Kunchako Boban. Now this movie, everyone's been recommending it to me. It seems like it's a different kind of a thriller for Malayalam movies. So let's go and check it out. But before I go and check it out, for those of you who are new to my channel, definitely check out my channel for some classic movie reviews of Dulquer Salman, Nimish Pauly movies if you haven't already, even Fahad Fasil. And do check out my video Best of 2016 Malayalam Movies if you have not already done that. So let's go and check out the video Take Off trailer. Here we go. It also has Asif Ali. I'm sorry, I forgot about that. So let's go and check this trailer out. Here we go with the trailer of Take Off.
കാത്തിരുന്ന് കിട്ടിയ ചാൻസ് ഇറാഖിലെ ഈ ജോലി സാലറി ഇവിടത്തേക്കാളും 4 ഇരട്ടിയടി.
This country is safe, not like what you hear outside.
اخرج من السيارة الآن، اخرج من السيارة الآن للتفتيش.
ആർമിയില്ലേ കൂടെ പിന്നെന്തിനാ പേടിക്കുന്നേ?
ഇറാഖിൽ യുദ്ധമേഖലയിൽ കുടുങ്ങിയ 19 മലയാളി നേഴ്സുമാർ ഭീതിയുടെ നിലയിൽ.
സമീറ മനോജാണ് ഇന്ത്യൻ അംബാസഡർ. ഹോസ്പിറ്റൽ നോ ഫയർ സോണിലാണ്. രക്ഷിക്കുന്നതിനേക്കാൾ കൂടുതൽ റിസ്ക് ആണ് അവരെ ട്രാൻസ്പോർട്ട് ചെയ്യുന്നത്. ഒരേ ഒരു എക്സിറ്റ് റൂട്ട് ഏബിൾ എയർപോർട്ടാണ്.
Let's drop this. Nurses will be rescued by Iraqi army.
അങ്ങനെ അറിഞ്ഞുകൊണ്ട് അവരെ മരിക്കാൻ ഞാൻ വിടുന്നില്ല. I am taking the responsibility.
Okay, so the one thing that I think I just mentioned was that Parvati is something that really makes me curious about this movie. I think this is completely a different image of her. She's very simple. She's playing a married woman, you know. She's not just playing that young girl who looks very charming and stylish. She's playing something different. And although she was brilliant in movies like Charlie and Bangalore Days, this is something that I wouldn't have expected her to do, and I would love to see her in such roles. So she is the #1 takeaway from this movie Take Off for me, because I really want to see her in this performance. She looks like she's done a fantastic job. Everyone else in the cast looks fine. There's nothing much I can say from the trailer, so only after the movie I can tell you about how their performances might be. I'm not sure I saw Asif Ali in there. I might have missed him, but it was mainly about Kunchako Boban, Fahad Fasil and of course Parvati. And there's the other character actor who was also part of Airlift. I think he also acts in many South Indian movies. I'm not sure what his name is. Now speaking of Airlift, there will be obvious comparisons to Airlift, and that's a given, because the whole concept of this movie, the whole area in which it is kind of narrating and speaking about is the same. It's about Indians stranded in one of the Middle Eastern or Gulf countries, and how we, or the country, or basically we help them come back, or someone there stands up for them and kind of helps them escape from that crisis and gets them back to the country, or something like that. So basically it deals with the same area that Airlift dealt with. Now from Bollywood per se, or for the people who watch Malayalam cinema in Kerala, who are not really exposed, who don't understand Hindi, who've not watched Airlift, who are not into English movies like Argo, this is outstanding. It's like an international standard thriller, or like a dramatic thriller which is made at an extremely high budget. It looks absolutely fantastic and international and professional, something that we don't often see in Malayalam cinema, which is basically more simplistic stories, dramas, family dramas, so to speak. So we've not seen an over-the-top kind of, I mean, of course there are Prithviraj movies which are great, but you know, something in this setting, you know, outside India, set in the Gulf countries, something very thrilling and on the lines of Argo and Airlift, which is great for the Malayalam audience per se. But as an audience that must have watched Airlift, there is going to be an obvious comparison, and you can't kind of deny that. This is based on a true story. It is definitely a different story, but the whole area that it speaks about is the same. So I'm sure that for people who've watched Airlift, they would definitely not be curious to watch this movie. In fact, I'm not curious to watch this movie myself. It's only that I said was Parvati's performance looks fantastic and I want to watch it for her. But otherwise, I wouldn't have watched it. There's nothing new for me to watch in this movie. But that's exactly the differentiation I'm trying to make, that for the Malayalam kind of people who don't watch too many Hindi movies or international movies, it's absolutely great. But not so much, very honestly, not so much. No matter what other people say, no matter what the other reviewers out there say, no matter how the other people respond, I'm pretty sure that people who watched Airlift, which is very recent, will not be so much interested in watching Takeoff, which not only the title sounds the same, the whole concept is the same, and everything about it is pretty much similar. Now, I'm not saying that it's copied, neither am I saying that it's the same story or it's inspired. Even if this movie was made before Airlift, the point is that it's being released at a timing wherein Airlift is so discussed about Airlift, and although Airlift released at this time last year, now the award season has begun and Airlift has been taking quite a few awards, so it's again come into discussion. And that movie also was about a Malayali kind of character in the original story or original tale, and who basically helped a lot of people. Also that same actor, as I said, who was also a part of Airlift. So basically the comparisons are inevitable, and it's not a bad thing. It's actually a very correct thing, I would say, although many of you might argue that it's not the same, we are not copying, we are not doing this, it's a different story, it's completely, but it's basically like Oh My God and PK. Oh My God was about God, religion, addressing all that facts, and PK was, for me, no matter how much Rajkumar Hinari tried to rewrite it, tried to be different from Oh My God, for me it's the same movie. And it's complete crap compared to Oh My God, because I hated PK and I hated everything about it, because for me it was basically a rip-off of Oh My God. Although they independently wrote it, they wrote it at different times. Rajkumar Hirani got a shock after watching Oh My God, so he had to rewrite and represent it in a different way, and therefore he made PK in a completely different way with the alien angle and stuff like that. So although they were written differently, independently, they were around the same time, within a period of 5 years. It's not like it had a big 10-15 year difference or gap between the two. So there's comparisons are inevitable. And so for this particular thriller, there's only the thing I can say is that I'm really impressed by Parvati's look. But otherwise, it doesn't really drive me to kind of go and watch this movie, or that I'm waiting for this movie. Honestly, this is nothing but watching a similar story again, which is not exciting for me. We watch so many movies. Right now, I'm only hunting for movies that really are different, that really, presented in a different way, telling kind of a different story and a different view or a perspective. So something which is so similar does not excite me. But it's definitely great for Mollywood. It's great for the people who watch these movies and, are very restricted to Kerala. And so I think that it's a fantastic step forward for developing the technology, the kind of international stylization for the Malayalam film industry. However, another point that I would like to make is about the growing integration of all industries. On one side, there are makers like Rajamouli sir, there's Rakshit Shetty from Kannada film industry, Pawan Kumar, there's of course Nivin Pauly, Dulquer Salman. In Tamil, they're making some fantastic films like Joker, Vesaranai. Sairat in Marathi film industry took notice. And these movies like Bahubali, Kirik Party, Vesaranai, Sairat, these people have actually kind of made the whole country take notice of them. And they've made the whole country take the effort of going and watching it as a Marathi movie or as a Telugu movie. Bahubali was like an Indian sensation, and Bahubali, the conclusion, will also be a bigger sensation. And that's nothing but a Telugu film, it's not really a Hindi film at all. It's not from the Hindi industry. It's a Telugu film that probably dubbed in different languages, but it's an international sensation. And that's because of the growing integration. People from all cultures are wanting to explore each other's movies. And the reason I'm saying that this movie does not make me curious is actually not a criticism. It's actually a positive thing that I'm trying to say, that I know that my friends, if I tell them to watch this trailer, or if anyone watches this trailer, they are going to basically label the Malayalam film industry as, oh, they only remake our movies, just based on one such film. There's another film coming of Tovino Thomas which is based on wrestling, just like Sultan and Dangal. And although it may be a completely different story, because it's coming so soon, there's comparisons are inevitable. So my only fear is that people who come across these trailers of Takeoff and the other movie of Tovino Thomas are going to make comparisons and completely label the whole industry, saying that the whole industry is basically copying Indian films and why should we watch them. So then when I go on and tell them, make a recommendation saying, no, watch Bangalore Days, watch Premam, watch Charlie, they are going to say why these people basically copy films. I'm sure that is also a copy of something or the other, and they might not appreciate it as much as they should if these movies were not even taken notice of, or such movies in such a close time, close to movies like Airlift and Dangal Sultan were not made. Then there would be a clean image of the industry, which I fear will get kind of hampered. And as you saw in this particular review, I might have come across as, why are they doing such a thing like making Airlift or similar stories? So that's, even though I know it's an independent story, I'm basically speaking about it. And so imagine people who don't even know anything about the industry and they just watch trailers now, because all of us are watching trailers, and they watch trailers and say like, oh, these people only copy these movies, and so Telugu film industry is better because they make something different like Bahubali. Is that true? No. So that's my concern. So I think with the growing integration with movies like Randamusam, for example, the Mohanlal's new venture, which probably also has Mammootty and also has Vikram, Amitabh Bachchan, it might have a new cast as the time progresses. That is huge. That is integrated cinema for the country, and I think that those kind of movies should be worked on more than simply making common subjects because you want to entertain a Kerala audience or you want to entertain a Tamil audience, by remaking movies or making movies in the same area. For example, when I was speaking about Oh My God and PK, what happened is that when Oh My God came out, Rajkumar Irani was so affected by the whole thing that he had to work on it again. What he did was he spent a lot of time trying to rewrite it in the best way possible, improve it, make it as different as PK. And that's the sacrifice. It's not like no matter what other filmmakers make, this is my story, I know it's real, so I go and make it. And so it's irrespective, even if there are 10 other movies based on religion and God, mine is different, this is my original story, so I'll make it. That's not the way Indian cinema is going to progress. And that's why we respect Rajkumar Irani, and his movies become a huge hit because he takes the time to rewrite. He takes the time to understand that this movie already exists, and such a movie on the subject, even though completely different presentation, like it was a courtroom presentation, is there, but it's basically the same subject, so why will the audience watch it? And I think that is the level of forward thinking that we need today. And I think that that's the main problem I have with Takeoff, is that even though it might have been written before Airlift, written independently, it's addressing a different particular story of nurses, it's kind of addressing ISIS or whatever it is addressing. The whole concept is of rescuing those people and one man taking charge and getting them back. And I think that this is too close to Airlift for anyone to be so much interested in Takeoff if they have watched Airlift. So those were some of the things that I feel about this movie, but nevertheless, I might watch it only for Parvati because I think that she has done a fantastic job in this movie. So I hope you like this analysis, reaction and review to Takeoff. Like, comment, share, subscribe and keep watching.